The economic freedom fighters have lost yet another court case relating to defamation against former Finance Minister Trevor Manuel. Now, this after the party claimed Manuel was biased when he advised on the appointment of SARS Commissioner Edward Kieswetter. The EFF said Kieswetter's appointment was corrupt and nepotistic. Now, earlier today, ENCA reported on the full judgment relating to the EFF matter. However, we tweeted an incomplete version as breaking news, and we're joined now by former Finance Minister Trevor Manuel to tell us all about it. Good evening, and thank you very much for your time. Just talk us through what the Supreme Court of Appeal did today and why this is important to you.
Thank you very much, Shirley. Good evening to you and the viewers. You know, there was a judgment handed down by the South Gauteng High Court Justice Mototjane, which I you know, when the EFF made these ludicrous allegations against me and others involved in the process, I asked them to retract. They refused to do that, which would have been the completely decent thing to do. I was then compelled to seek litigation and protection from the court. The court granted that, and the court also granted, in that instance, a financial remedy of 500,000 rand. The EFF went on appeal against that judgment. It was their initiative. The matter was heard in the Supreme Court of Appeal on the 2nd of November, and the judgment was handed down today. And the first and most important issue is that the statements by the economic freedom fighters are considered to be defamatory and unlawful. And I think that's a fundamentally important victory, because it suggests that the ability of people to go out and slander others is actually held or seen in a very bad light in court. And I think it's very important that we return to who we are. And who we are should be defined by Ubuntu. It's respect for other people. It means that we don't abuse other people, we don't slander them, and I think that that is the gist of what emanates from the judgment handed down today. It is defamatory and therefore unlawful, and I think that that is exceedingly important. So their appeal was turned down on that basis. There was the other side of what they were asking for, which was to have the 500,000, to have the appeal against the award of 500,000 rand set aside, and the judgment today asks that that matter be returned for oral evidence, and I think that lawyers will look at the judgment in its full context. But I think that very importantly, for everybody in South Africa, and especially for political parties, the idea that you can just abuse other people and tell lies about them.
And why? Sorry, carry on.
No, I've done.
I just wanted to ask, why is it so important? Because some would say, oh, you know, people say anything on social media, just ignore it. But it's important not to ignore it. If we look at what's happening in terms of politics, the sorts of lies that Donald Trump has publicized, for example, is that one of the reasons why you are adamant that this issue be resolved?
You know, Donald Trump told more than 20,000 lies in his term as president. You can't debase the truth in that kind of way, and I think it's very important for this generation and future generations to be reminded that the struggle for democracy was also a struggle for decency. Part of the struggle for decency is for respect of each other and for these to be held as norms in society. And when those norms are trodden upon, then I think it's very important that the courts actually be called upon to remedy the situation. What the courts have done now, what the Supreme Court of Appeal has done in this judgment, is to provide the first part of the remedy to that. You can't just abuse people simply because you can say things, because your mouth can form words or your fingers can form words on a keyboard. Respect of others remains a vitally important part. It's part of the preamble to our Constitution, should be part of who we are as a nation.
Thank you so much for chatting to us this evening. That was former Finance Minister Trevor Manuel.